It appears that Will Smith considers himself and his family a victim in the situation with Chris Rock and even plans to take things to court over the comedian's recent comments on the Netflix special. Word is on the street that the actor cannot forgive Chris for all the jabs at his wife and their marriage and wants to take revenge for everything, Rock said. But Will Smith should be very careful with reigniting the controversy because Chris never pressed charges against the actor for that scandalous slap. Hi everyone, welcome back to Celeb Live channel. I keep my eyes on the most discussed dramas in show business and always bring you the hottest updates. Ever since that live comedy special performance was released by Netflix, there was a huge talk about it, mainly because Chris Rock threw shades left and right at many celebrities, including Meghan Markle and Will Smith. Rumor has it that the actor couldn't tolerate the jokes about his wife's infidelity and is so enraged with the comedian that he threatens to sue Chris for his words. Turns out that Netflix tries to hush the igniting scandal between the comedian Chris Rock and the actor Will Smith. Less than a week after Chris's live stand-up comedy special, Selective Outrage, premiered, the platform removed several so-called inappropriate jokes about Will and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. In the special, Rock discussed his long-standing feud with actors, and some people emotionally reacted to his performance, saying that Chris went too far in his comments about the Smiths' love life. And I've got to say, the comedian actually gave Will and his wife, Jada, a serious roasting in his latest stand-up special by saying about how Jada cheated on the actor. And since Rock himself doesn't give a flying about all the criticism, his fellow celebrity, Will Smith, was deeply offended by this stand-up and even threatened to sue the actor for opening his mouth and stating such audacious things. Apparently, Rock's words buried all chances for reconciliation because, as sources who spoke to Entertainment Tonight reveal, Will Smith is embarrassed and hurt by this Netflix special and can't let Chris Rock go around humiliating his family and more. I mean, that's the whole purpose of stand-up, right? And although the jokes may go way too far sometimes, I haven't heard Meghan Markle running to court to sue anyone over a couple of jokes. After the special was released, the audience was eager to know what the Smiths' reaction will be, considering the couple is dealing with the infidelity thing and is not in the best place emotionally. So it was unclear whether they would pretend that Chris Rock's words don't touch them. Well, the answer is no, because Will Smith is steaming with rage. The comedian cannot leave his family alone and let them deal with their problems in peace. I'm pretty sure that the actor didn't even watch the performance, but there were a lot of people ready to fill him in, and it was enough for Will to lose his temper. With all the comments and reactions hitting social media, the actor is outraged at how these insulting remarks about his wife Jada can be broadcast on the biggest streaming platform. So that's why he is ready to silence Chris and punish Netflix for letting him speak. Well, we've all been waiting for Chris Rock to somehow address the incident at the Oscars last year, but unlike Will, he didn't want to ignite any scandal. So he used his jokes as a weapon against the actor, and apparently hit the actor's pain point again, although the show was intended to put an end to that horrible incident with a slap, and that's why Chris Rock was allowed to choose that story as a basis for his performance. And since he was the one assaulted physically in the public, it was important to hear his side of the story in this conflict. As one of the Academy bosses mentioned, it's great that Chris Rock spoke his truth in new Netflix special, but Chris went too far in roasting Will and Jada when he mentioned the cheating. So it appears that instead of smoothing things out, the jokes only made Will Smith even angrier. I guess there will be a chance for peace anytime soon, considering the actor's threats to sue Chris Rock after the show. And it's not only Will who adds oil to the fire of this drama, his wife also considers that Chris Rock made it his life goal to destroy her good name and reputation. And while the tension is boiling in the house of the Smiths, Chris Rock seemed to move on from that public assault despite not receiving any apology from the actor who had hit him. As the Daily Mail exclusively reports, the comedian never got any response from Will Smith, and although it still hurts, he wants to do anything to forget about the scandal. It's noble of Chris not to push things further, considering the whole world and his witness in this story. And while the majority of people are on Rock's side because he never punched anyone, there are also celebrities who feel Will Smith's pain and ready to roast the comedian as well. Siding with the actor is Michael Jackson's nephew, Tajay Jackson, who apparently watched the special and was hurt by Chris Rock's remarks about his uncle. He felt that the comparison of Michael Jackson was so insulting that devoted a long tweet to Chris Rock where he described the comedian's constant attempts to hurt the memory of an iconic singer. On his official Twitter account, Tajay Jackson wrote, "Chris Rock has used my family as punching bags for his entire career. Yet I'm supposed to feel bad for him getting slapped and humiliated on the Oscars. After seeing a new clip of him attacking my dead uncle in the first minutes of his retaliation, I'm still relevant special. I have 3 things to say." Tajay continued his roasting by writing the following one. "What did my family ever do to you to warrant these decades of harassment and your constant bullying disguised as jokes?" And the best part was of this slamming he saved for the end. Tajay finished his tweet by writing, "2. Just because you were bullied early on in life doesn't give you the excuse to bully others now. And 3, thank you, Will Smith. Well, it feels like not only Will Smith is unhappy about the special, and we don't know if any other celebrities who were roasted during that performance will speak up. But even without all this potential backlash from the colleagues, Chris Rock has a lot to face. Because Will Smith won't let this go, people believe that things may cool down and Smith's words about suing the comedian will only remain threats. But we are going to wait and see what happens because there's another person involved here who we haven't heard from so far. This is Jada Pinkett Smith, who Rock had been talking about during his monologue. It becomes clear why the Smiths want Chris Rock to stop when you learn that this feud has been going on for years, and Chris has been mocking Jada since the 90s, which makes it more than 30 years now. With all the emotions and confrontations that have been accumulated for years, and also counting that disgraceful slap, it's not surprised that Chris Rock finally vented out on that Netflix special and took jabs at Jada. But among all the people Rock roasted that evening, only Will and his wife managed to be offended to that point that finally decided to sue the comedian for the verbal assault. And honestly speaking, Chris Rock might have felt wonderful during this time on stage. He remembered many past episodes related to Smith's family life and even discussed their supposedly open marriage. According to Rock, Jada is the true problem for Will Smith, not himself, and probably his anger is directed at the comedian because he cannot put up with his wife's infidelity. Even recalling that slap last year, Chris mentioned that it was actually Will's frustration with Jada's behavior, not the joke. It seems that Rock actually pressed where it hurts because it made Will furious, and he might have recalled everything Jada did to him, including how she humiliated her husband in public by forcing him to discuss the episode of their marriage where she cheated on him. In his performance, Chris Rock said his wife was sleeping her son's friend. I normally would not talk about this stuff. I have no idea why 2 talented people would do something that low down. We've all been cheated on. Everybody in here been cheated on. None of us has ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. She hurt him way more than he hurt me. The comedian made it obvious that the true problem in Will Smith's life was not a handful of his jokes, but his own wife who was manipulating him and also cheating on him with his friend. But apparently, even knowing the truth, Will Smith is not so happy to hear about it from the stage. That's why he is so adamant to go against Chris and silence him for good. I mean, that's not actually Rock's fault that Smith has a problem with his wife, and there is some undeniable proof that makes us believe that the married life of this couple is far from paradise. In their famous Red Table talk show, Jada opened up that she had certain addictions in her life and even slept with other people while being married to Will. So it feels like that blaming Chris Rock for his jokes is just a convenient excuse for Will Smith because he cannot confront his own wife for the pain she had caused. Many people consider Will's behavior disturbing and even childish because he cannot just blame an innocent person for the faults and mistakes of his wife and even drag Rock to court over it. Here's what they write about this drama on social media. One person commented, "Chris Rock is awesome and had every right to say, whatever he said, some people need to grow up and grow a pair." And another added, "Will is the victim. Jada is innocent. They both need to put their big undies on, own what they did collectively as a couple with serious problems, and seek therapy to cope." And although it feels like Chris Rock remains calm in this story because, in his opinion, he says nothing but the truth, Will Smith is truly enraged with everything the comedian says about his family. Apparently, his hatred reached a non-turning point and he wants to eliminate the danger in the face of Chris by taking him to court over a few jokes. And what do you reckon? Has Chris Rock really gone too far? Or is this Will Smith's problems that he cannot cope with that make him so angry and vulnerable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm eager to know what you're thinking. And in the meantime, check my other video about celebrity feuds. They will make your day. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I promise to be back very soon with a new portion of gossip about your favorite celebrities.